The best team in the land and all the world. Well, Manchester City might just be the biggest, at least in the Premier League right now. And I'm going to explain why. But first of all, welcome back to the City Ramble, leading the conversation in the world of Manchester City. If you are new around here, you know the drill by now. Hit the subscribe button. We're trying to get to 5k subscribers before the start of the Premier League season. And also get involved in the Discord, link in the description as usual. But in today's video, we're going to be discussing the £100 million per season kit extension that Puma and Manchester City have signed together. It is meant to be, if the details are correct, and it's worth saying at this point, these are only reported details, but it could prove to be the biggest kit deal in Premier League history. Wow. That is big. That is big. Now, maybe we'll have a word on whether or not Puma are delivering the best kits in terms of Manchester City. You know, everyone's got their opinion. There's been some great ones. There's been some pretty poor ones. But the facts, the base of it, again, if it's true, that's massive. Now, this is a report in The Athletic. Now, I appreciate, not everyone has a subscription for The Athletic, but this is the details they've put forward. Said that Manchester City are extending their kit partnership with Puma. I think it's worth stating as well, it is reported in other outlets, so it's not an exclusive for The Athletic, but this is just where I'm lifting this from. Puma's been making City shirts since the 2019-20 season. Estimated that their deal previously was worth £65 million per season. The parties have now negotiated a significant uplift on that with a new £100 million, that's $134 million for those of you in the States, per season figure comfortably outweighing any rival club. The deal was meant to have expired originally in 2029. It's now saying that City will probably have Puma way beyond that. So what would we have been? 4 years away, 4 seasons away. That's meant to go on completely. Puma's other big clients include AC Milan, Borussia Dortmund, Marseille, Valencia, and the Portugal national team, meaning City are by far the biggest commercial partner it works with. Now that figure, £100 million, if that is across a 10-year contract, that previously, that was what was agreed in 2019, 10 years running through to 2029. You're talking £1 billion, £1 billion in 10 years just for the kit sponsorship, which I mean is absolutely wild money. It would outweigh the biggest that we've seen in Premier League history. Currently, that's Manchester United, which is £90 million per season, although it's worth noting for all kit deals that it is somewhat performance related. Now, Manchester United finishing down in 15th in the table, missing out on European football altogether, including the Champions League. I don't know if you're going to get £90 million for the season that's coming up. This is why I think we're talking about City being the biggest in the Premier League right now from a sponsorship point of view, which I know some people can't wrap their heads around because they love to sort of say things about City and make up, the sponsorships, are they real, blah, blah, blah. And look, maybe 115 will prove otherwise. I don't know. I'm just commenting on what is in front of us at this moment in time. But City are the most attractive brand for the likes of Puma and other sponsorship deals to be working with. And United, Liverpool, Arsenal fans can't wrap their heads around that because they see themselves as the established elite almost. They're the old money, if you get what I mean. They've been around. They were the first kids on the block when the Premier League erupted in 1992 and you had all of the global money coming in, the Sky Sports, and obviously football became a much more globalised game. City have almost, in that sense, gone past them. Why? Well, because they've been winning trophies. And I think it is as simple and as fickle as that. Whenever you started supporting City, it doesn't make a difference to me. It doesn't make a difference to a lot of City fans. But the fact of the matter is success, having the best players, competing for the biggest trophies, breeds new fans. Sports fans are fickle. That is what happens. But for brands, they don't care because that's how they make their money. I think, is it in Abu Dhabi or somewhere in the United Arab Emirates, in one of the big malls, there is a flagship Manchester City store. I mean, just think about the reach that has. There's been Puma pop-ups all across the world. There was one in New York, I think, last season for the pre-season tour. There has been, I believe, some in Asia somewhere for other sort of pre-season tours as well. City's reach is gigantic. You've got Pep Guardiola, the greatest manager of all time, sort of that's not my opinion. That's the opinion of most people. You've got Erling Haaland, one of the most marketable, one of the most almost popular sports stars, along with maybe Mbappe, Yamal, those sort of names. He plays for Manchester City. He's also just signed a new long-term deal with the football club. That's attractive. That's attractive to Puma as well, because they know they can stick Erling Haaland in their new kits and advertise that every single year. All of these pieces come together. And that's why you end up with a £100 million per season sponsorship deal. And there will be people who sort of look at that and maybe don't believe it, call it corrupt, blah, 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 whatever. It is as simple as that, though. It is as simple as City being the biggest, the most successful, the fastest growing football club in the Premier League over the last couple of years, which is why this money is coming their way. Now, it's worth sort of making the point that if City, their trajectory continues on the back of last season and they keep getting worse, that deal's not going to be worth £100 million per season then, is it? No, because performance-related bonuses come into mind. I imagine the £100 million figure is bare minimum Champions League qualification. You're putting your shirt on the biggest stage of all in front of the biggest audience. Probably a deep run in the Champions League, maybe even competing for trophies, winning the Premier League. That's what we get to with that figure. It isn't just a blank check or £100 million check every single season. I don't know. Maybe it is, but these are, again, like I said, reported figures which say explicitly they are performance related. Even still, the fact that you can earn up to that, or maybe even a little bit more, is it is mind-blowing in this sense, because, look, me personally, having supported City my entire life, way beyond sort of the takeover, it is wild when you hear sort of the club that you grew up supporting, and I'm not suggesting, I'm stuck in the past, whatever. It is still a bit weird to comprehend at times. And look, I mean, more money coming into your football club, you can't particularly complain at that, can you? Just looking now, sort of other teams, other sort of deals. Obviously, I mentioned United, £90 million. That was the biggest in the Premier League at the time when they signed it, saying that they'll only receive £80 million because they had to forgo £10 million for not qualifying for the Champions League. So that's what I was saying before. I think Liverpool, their previous deal with Nike, I believe, was around £60 million. They're now signing a new one with Adidas. Potentially, they're getting sort of a rise on that in terms of sort of what they get from Adidas. I don't actually know. I don't have the figures to hand, so I'm not sure on that. But you're talking about sort of they're the ballpark figures, like I said before. City with the previous deal with Puma, £65 million. So it's a bit of an improvement as well. Look, like I said, it's come with mixed responses from fans in terms of the actual meat and potato. Meat and potato. I don't know what phrase I'm trying to say here. The part of the Puma making the kits, not the money side. I think everyone can agree that the money side is incredible. But in terms of Puma making those kits, I don't know if they're the most popular. My opinion on it is Puma have made some great Manchester City kits. Two of my favourites are right here. You've got the 24-25 away shirt, and obviously you've got, it's out of focus, but you've got the 22-23 treble-winning home shirt. Now, I love them. I think they're great. My only sort of concern would be they are remakes. Obviously for so long, City fans wanted a remake of this shirt. This one's been done in a sort of a couple of different styles over the years, but basically it's going back to that old sort of Colin Bell kit that was made famous by him. There have been some really impressive new designs. I thought the Hacienda away shirt in 2019-20 was really good, but there have been some stinkers. To have a football shirt without a badge, for starters, is shocking. And if the leaks of this new 25-26 third shirt, the rain one, are true, oof, dear me, that could easily be the worst of all time. But otherwise, I feel like Puma are fine. That a lot of it is okay. A lot of it's middle of the road. Personally, I would like a few more sort of worldies to look back on. Hopefully, maybe that comes with the new partnership. But yeah, Puma, Manchester City sticking around for a good few number of years. Long-term contract extended. Talk of it being worth £100 million per season. That's not bad, is it? Imagine we could get that ourselves, but hey-ho. The money in the game's ridiculous, and we all know that by now. If you did enjoy the video, make sure to hit like, hit subscribe, all of that lovely business. This has been the City Ramble, and until next time, we will see you later.